Vehicles, all of them, number of races, one race. The course, randomly determined from among the selections made by each player. There will be some hardware available for whoever wins this first match of the Knockout Tour. So, something that you can't buy, something irreplaceable, bragging rights. Anytime you stream, anytime you go to a tournament, you can just show that and say, listen, they brought together some of the best players, the fastest racers in the world, and I was victorious. Look at my trophy.
Yeah, you bring in a job interview too.
Yes.
I've done that.
How did it go for you?
Got the job. they didn't think I was telling the truth, but then they look at something like,
it was 150 cc.
Yeah. All that.
But champions this. Hey, look, it just comes down to it. Knockout is so stressful, and it really depends on the rally they pick here. It is player's choice, so I'm curious to know what we pick out of all of the 8 rallies that we have. Given that at least the Japanese players, especially, they mostly pick Cloud Rally. I think they just because they like the ending of Great Question Mark Long Roads, because it's very technical, has a lot of good shortcuts, and each course in the route itself going to the elimination section, it isn't that great, it isn't that hard. Just, it's nice, it's pretty even.
I'm impressed with the gloves as well too.
Hey, like, well, your hands get sweaty when you play Knockout.
They do.
I have to wipe my hands.
It's very tense.
Yeah.
I go back to again, any one of these racers typically cruising to a victory in Knockout. There will be some racers that will there will be one racer eliminated at the very first checkpoint.
Yes. Mathematically, yes. Well, at least one. Could be 3 CPUs.
And how they respond to that is huge, because how do you handle the failure? How do you handle bouncing back up?
It's not failure.
It's not failure.
It's
not as many points.
It's nice try according to the game. Look, you do just a nice try, and so you don't feel that bad, But it is tough. It is tough because you seeing the other racers in front of you pass that checkpoint, and then the rainbow aura coming around you, and then you're just eliminated. In the Japanese version of the game, they call it survival.
Survival.
So you gotta survive. Like, do everything you can. Don't hold anything back. You gotta cross that line and then just reset, because every single section feels like its own race.
I'm going to ask you, has there been a consistent character pick at all, or has it been all over the board? It feels like we've had more variants in Mario Kart World, because remember, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, there was the Waluigi Wiggler stage, which was forever, it seemed like.
It's a long time.
It's like now there's a little bit more variants that you can be successful with a lot of different...
Yeah, a lot more variants. We'll probably see some swoopers, Toadettes, Nabbit is a good one, I love Shy Guys, so Shy Guys up there, some Toads. We should look around medium line builds, baby builds, depending on how chaotic these races are, because most of these people are going to offer high mini turbo, high acceleration.
Here we go. We have got Knockout Tour. 24 racers will be whittled down to 4. We've got 21 of the best in the world. If we get going, Lucky-O. We're going to go with Baby Daisy, Brandon with Toadette. Then we take a look at Star XLX, Tomas, and Mars representing Europe. And then the trio from Australia, New Zealand, Panda, Rico, and BLJ. And it's Panda right now in the early leads.
They're all bagging. Look at this. Half of the lobby was bagging. If you don't understand what bagging is, essentially they're all holding back to pull up the most powerful items. Typically they're going for a dodge from shock by lightning, or they're trying to pull a shock, so that way they can just activate it and then make everybody in front of them just to have a worse time of their life.
So far, all 3 members of Taiwan in jeopardy of being knocked out. We still have a little bit of time left to go here. Let's check on Japan as we take a look at Thru in 17th, Pluton in 3rd, and then it's still Panda in the lead in 1st, BLJ in 4th. And Rico, though, going to have to make up swerve, does have the bullet bill.
And opting to run, which is a very formidable strategy here, but it can backfire pretty bad. This is the last icebox stay here, and it's very likely someone's going to pull lightning and activate shock here.
So we'll see if the lightning does come. You've got Dive now in 7th place for South Korea.
Side got the
This line A, and then 2nd is Mars. Mars hanging in there for Europe. Thomas in 18th, 22nd is Leslie. We're coming up with the first checkpoint. Leslie's going to have to make up some ground. Here comes the lightning. Not enough. Leslie will be knocked out. We continue on.
North America all makes it through.
They do, but they are now near the back because we're going to whittle this down to 16 here soon.
Yeah, and I believe this is actually Cloud Rally just because of the nature where it goes in. Although this one, at this point here, the first 2 routes, you have to kind of navigate your way through because there's a lot of sections that you can use mushrooms to catch up, the big shortcuts. But once you get to the actual highway portion, you're going to have to front run, and you cannot lag behind there.
So far, you've got Europe and then Australia, New Zealand, and essentially 6 of the top 8 spots here. As we look at South Korea, trying to make up some ground here. BSY, go F, dive in 7, using the Goldie, as you like to say, dive down in 4th, cutting through, tricking off the stones, as 3 more mushrooms going to make up a lot of ground there as dive now moves into 3rd place.
Smart by holding that, didn't use all their mushrooms because they needed to take the other cuts there. Really solid play overall.
Panda now back in 8th. Remember, led early on in this. We're coming up closer. Luckyo is going to be okay. Kevo is in danger. Kevo 15. Can Kevo hang on?
Oh no.
Kevo is coming close. He's checking behind as a star from behind. Kevo moves up to 17. Oh no, Kevo might get knocked out. Kevo barely was able to make it. Rico as well too.
Rico was at 17 and
Rico got through right at the line, so it now intensifies.
Someone backed an item and destroyed someone else's race. That was wild.
So knocked out, unbelievable. We have 2 teams still with all of their players available. Japan holding strong at 6th, 2nd, and 17th. And it's a Luckyo in the lead with a green shell, starting to make some distance between themselves and dive.
And Smart picking up Dash Food, because Dash Food is a great item to have if you get hit by a blue shell, or really anything else just to recover. At this point here, you want the front run. This is where you gotta maintain that lead. Because once you get to the highway section, it is tough.
Zatomas slow down to try and bag a great item. Gets a golden mushroom. That'll help out a lot. StarX LX in the lead. Has triple mushroom and 1 behind.
Yeah, this is great.
Losing the shells coming and able to dodge it. How about the timing avoids that? Not today, they say. StarX LX still in the lead. And Mars in 2nd place. Starting to lose some ground to them. Thomas just trying to catch up with the golden mushroom on the left so far. Europe holding the top 2 spots. Let's check in on North America. Brandon in 5th. Kevo in 8th. Luckyo in 14th. Gonna have to make up some room. Dive makes a splash and loses some coins.
This is a stressful part here because usually shot comes out by lightning, so we'll see what happens at this spot here.
29 in 3rd place. Dive has to make up some ground in 15th. We're coming to our next checkpoint. Can they survive? Dive with the bullet bill. Will they get out of the way? Yes, dive with the bullet bill. Shoots forward, and now we're down to the final 12.
Stressful. There was 6 reds in front of them. They really can't do much here.
BFY, as you mentioned, 6 reds, just getting ready to unleash fury on some people. XS from Taiwan in 10th. Let that go, and StarX LX still in the lead, just comfortably cruising. Checking the rear view mirror.
Yeah, at this point here, one of the nice things you can do with the green shells, you can back it into one of those bomb carts and hit the guy behind you. And you have to be careful with your triple greens or triple reds because they can explode the bomb cars.
So we check in on Japan, 3rd, 4th, and 8th now. They're starting to threaten the lead. Kuru in 2nd. StarX LX still in the lead. Luckyo in 6th.
Looks like Kevo got knocked out.
Kevo got knocked out. You were right. That is a loss for North America. And for Kevo, StarX LX still in the lead.
Toma's got left and knocked out from Europe.
Curtone in 4th.
The truck is huge.
Truck, let's see, it's coming up. Any chance anything gets inside the truck? Are you kidding me? How about this? 18 wheels rumbling down the freeway. All sorts of exhaust going left and right. Kuru, flames ablazing, trying to move forward. Takes the... Look at this cut line. How about this? Unbelievable.
And he's using one of the best vehicles in the game, which is the Junkyard Hog, in terms of knockout experience. Great wall ride, great tech. Really good game, the truck, because he anticipated the lightning to get activated and have shock come out, so they will be able to dodge it, but he really kind of make it out there. So this is where top 8 now, which is fantastic here.
Kuru, an unbelievable display of skill and timing and wisdom as they're able to cut forward now. They get the double boxes. Check out Luckyo in 7th, still trailing the rest of the pack here. Unleashes 1 mushroom, 2 of them to get the double box. Pulls a golden mushroom. This is going to be a fun guy approach here in just a second as makes their way through most of the coins, bypassing all the currency, passing zebras left and right, leaving dust in their trail. BSY now in 8th, trying to catch up to the rest of the path as we see Luckyo advance. And it's going to be tight here as we get close to another checkpoint.
This is stressful, but there are opportunities ahead of us that may float stars or mushrooms. So let's see how this activates here.
Morelli using the golden mushroom this time, passing people, gets it to 4. Star X Alex in second being threatened. And now Japan holds a couple of the top spots as we get close to the end of this first knockout tour. Lucky Yo in 5th, trying to move forward. Tricks, mushroom, trick, mushroom, once more. Cutting through the grass, gets back on the path in 2nd place.
Okay, last section here. This is terrifying. Lightning may be activating here, so they have to be prepared for it.
Here's Dive in the water, cutting through off the ramp, gonna get ready to ride this cascading water up into the clouds. Dive in 4th, throws behind the boomerang flower. There's all sorts of chaos behind. Dive now in 3rd. Here's a chance. We're looking for the top 4 as we get to Great Block Ruins. One more lap there. Oh my God, no way! Blows forward once more. You gotta watch yourself. Japan now threatening to possibly sweep the first 2 spots. Here comes all the tech right now. This is why they chose this rally. Here's Dive in the lead. All of a sudden has a mushroom threatening from behind with triple banana.
Nice, going for the really under the fast. Ooh, almost trying to banana snipe that there. Let's see if they can just cut.
Ooh, can't cut it. Torion doesn't have enough speed. Dive once more. Dive has to cut this corner, has to go wide. Can't cut through it. Can somebody else do it? Torion on behind with the red shell. It's going to be Dive going forward towards the goal. Is Dive going to take our first knockout tour after all the chaos? Oh, yes. Dive plunges into the lead. And what an exciting round that we had there.
As I said, Navin on the junkyard hog. I mean, we're going to see Navin, and they did great. That was fantastic. They realigned themselves. Just they were a little worried about the bananas behind them being sniped out. So that was smart for them to slow down just a tad bit.
Absolutely insane. The bullet bills at the last minute to get through the checkpoint for a lot of our racers. But it's going to be Dive and Navin snatching victory. Listen, buckle up, because that's just a taste of what we're going to see here. Unbelievable. I think nobody else can believe just how intense that was.
Yeah, I mean, like, that was great, man. Congrats to Divers for getting that. That was really solid. That was a great call knockout. Like, it's a whole different ball game. You're not ready. Kevin getting knocked out pretty early.
Yes,
Getting knocked out early. At that point, right before that highway section. If you're not in front, you're going to get hit out. And because they just bulldoze through everything and knocks out your drift now in this game rather than actually hit you. So if you're on a tight corner and knocks out your drift, you're not going to be able to get that mini turbo.
What a performance from Dive as that was coming down towards the stretch. You get to Great Block Ruins, you're able to do all the tech that you need to essentially at that point. And it just goes to show you have to find that balance, it feels like there, of when do you bag and then when do you try to move to the front of the pack. Because I think a lot of people are trying to bag maybe a little bit too late, and then all of a sudden you get to the situation where you're too far behind as we see Dive getting the first trophy.
Yeah, and congrats on look at him, and the Goombas in the back there too. He used Goombas though. Although you didn't have it, sorry, you didn't have it. But it's great, man. It was awesome in general. Just seeing him really be solid there, being able to understand when to use their items. That's the key difference between a champion is they hold their items properly, slow down when needed, but also speed up.
And how critical for Dive down the stretch, that last turn on Great Block Ruins, if you have the mushrooms, you can cut through a lot of grass right there.
Yeah.
Not have a mushroom, but did have a defensive item still. And that's why, even though second place had a red shell, there was nothing they could do. And Dive, right item at the right time to close out the victory.
Yeah, I know. And that's that glider section there. If you have nothing and you get hit, what happens to the other person in second? They just go down. So like they were smart holding and just praying that Blue didn't pop out, but they did that so solidly. That was a great Cloud. I mean, I'm not surprised Cloud already got picked.
I will say this: there will be a target on Dive for the second knockout too, because unlike the parents and kids that we saw earlier, where a family swept all 3, I think there's too many competitive players right there. You want to allow anybody to take home more than 1 trophy this afternoon.
Yeah, I think we'll get a different winner every time. And you know what? Dive thinking and they were invited to qualify and all that. That's great. The Japanese players, they were always in until
Always right
the
there.
top 8, which was, they were the only region that was always into the final stretch. And but that section after going up to the canyon glider into the Great Crush Confluence is so stressful, especially if a bulldog happens. If bulldog's behind you, you cannot do anything except pray that that bulldog does not pass you. And then it like knocked out 2 people that were clearly ahead. But that's
A couple
the way it happens.
when we were doing the math. Wait a minute, they were at 17. Somehow they made it, and the cutoff was 16. It just goes to show you the razor's edge of how thin the competition line is as far as the margin of error that could possibly happen. So we're getting set for the second knockout tour here in just a moment. Any adjustments that you might see from any potential racers?
I think we'll probably see a couple racers swap out for a less lighter, a little more Hector. Maybe more less. Instead of kept using Superman, might switch to Navit, might switch to Toadette, just because he needs that speed. It was getting hit. They can hit that much. But also, one of the things of knockout that a lot of people forget is, yeah, back camera is important for using, but when you were going to cross that finish line, you need to look ahead. Because I had multiple different times where I'm looking back because I'm worried about behind me. But in front of you, people are going to throw items back at you. You just got to you have to anticipate that. And that's how Fuego made it through, because someone was not paying attention. They got hit by a back green or something, and then he made it through because he was at 17 and like magically became 16. And it was just literally a frame away.
So it's been exciting so far. Dive wins the first knockout tour. We're getting set for the second knockout tour now, and that'll be followed by a 6-course race, and that'll be very exciting because you're going to have different courses selected. Some of them might be time trials, others might be continuations from previous courses. So that's going to open things up for a lot of different racers. Maybe a Panda that's used to doing time trials, has over 600 world records previously, has a chance to maybe do something there. But either way, it's going to be thrilling. I wonder if we'll see more front running from the beginning from our racers, because so many of them were backing into the end, and a lot of names that we thought were going to make it through, like Kevo, didn't.
Yeah, and it really it's 100% dependent on who pulls lightning and how they activate shock.
I didn't see that at all.
We didn't see many because the pack became super tight, and it ended up being like do I need to deep weight? But like, look, if you're gonna go for it, go for it. Like, you gotta hold on to it, use it off lane, and what happened there was whoever pulled it, they pulled the last item box set, and they ended up only hitting on people after they passed the checkpoints. It really wasn't effective. So you just have to hope that whoever pulls it is gonna use it smarter. You know, remember what it does.
And so that was the clown rally that we just got done doing. We'll see if we do that again here, but it'll be fascinating.
Player stories?
Player stories, we could see a repeat possibly, but going back to the longer sections in between, there's a lot of opportunity to make up some ground there, even if you maybe don't have a mushroom. We saw some different techs as well too, that you just have to go through this entire Mario Kart world and really learn every single inch of it to see where you can find those advantages.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of sections that you just got to be ready for it. Use what you can. But I mean, I really think we can see another rally. There's many different rallies in this game that are very exciting, and some of them are very intense. Personally, have you played all of them? I played all of them.
And to be honest, I really like Moon Rally, to be honest.
Really?
I'm a Moon Rally fan. Wire photos at each checkpoint, some big names going down early, names that are joy of maybe reaching the